The NBA's all-time leading scorer will be playing a record 24th season in the NBA.
LeBron James made the decision on Tuesday here that he will enter free agency. Rich Paul, his agent, informed Rob Pelinka that the Lakers can move on with their offseason.
Who else you going to play with? In today's game, Steph Curry. Yeah. Steph Curry is the one that I want to play with, for sure. I mean, with my future, I don't know, obviously. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the future holds for me, obviously.
Everything flipped almost overnight. What started as another routine off-season rumor has suddenly turned into one of the biggest storylines the NBA has seen in years. After spending 8 seasons in Los Angeles, LeBron James is now reportedly preparing to close the chapter on his Lakers career. According to ESPN, his longtime agent, Rich Paul, has reportedly let the organization know that they should begin planning for the future without him because LeBron intends to suit up somewhere else next season. And no, retirement isn't even being considered. Instead, the 4-time NBA champion is reportedly gearing up for an unprecedented 24th season. The shocking part? It apparently won't be in the iconic purple and gold. People close to LeBron say the decision wasn't fueled by drama, but by the belief that it was simply time for a fresh start. Although his next destination remains a mystery, you won't believe how quickly everything has shifted over the past week. What many fans laughed off as wild speculation is now being viewed as a legitimate blockbuster waiting to happen. Then came the move that truly sent shockwaves across the league. On Monday morning, reports claimed Draymond Green walked away from a massive $26.6 million. At first, it looked like the ultimate sacrifice for Golden State, but according to league insiders, this move may have been setting up something far bigger. This wasn't just about loyalty or taking less money. It looked more like the opening move in a carefully planned strategy. Rather than waiting for franchises to chase him, LeBron appears to be using the same playbook Kawhi Leonard reportedly used in 2019, applying pressure on a team to land another superstar before committing. This time, the reported prize is Anthony Davis, the very teammate who helped bring the Lakers their latest championship. If that scenario actually happens, it would create a lineup almost nobody thought could ever become reality. Picture this for a second. Steph Curry, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Draymond Green all sharing the floor in Warriors uniforms next season. As unbelievable as that sounds, several respected NBA insiders have added fuel to the rumors, and sportsbooks reacted almost immediately. This has officially moved beyond internet fantasy. The possibility has become realistic enough that every front office around the league is paying close attention. But here's where things get even more interesting. One major complication dating back to a 2019 deal could still bring the entire plan crashing down. Even more surprising, one rival franchise reportedly holds enough leverage to blow up the whole idea with a single phone call. If that happens, the entire NBA landscape changes all over again. And trust me, once you see the full story, it's even crazier than the headlines make it seem.
Out of that contract, it opens the window to offer a free agent. Maybe it's LeBron, maybe it's somebody else, $15 million with their mid-level extension.
Draymond Green's reported decision to decline his player option instantly became one of the biggest talking points around the NBA. According to reports from Shams Charania, the move is believed to be tied directly to Golden State's pursuit of LeBron James in free agency, while also exploring a trade for Anthony Davis in hopes of building an incredible superstar core. Walking away from more than $26 million wasn't just a routine financial decision. League insiders have repeatedly suggested that Green would only give up guaranteed money if it opened the door to a franchise-changing move. And that's exactly why so many people around the league are paying attention. This wasn't viewed as an act of generosity or loyalty. Instead, it was seen as the strongest indication yet that the Warriors believe they have a real opportunity to pull off something absolutely massive. And you won't believe where this story could be heading next.
They've formulated a grand plan of putting together a big four of Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James. And so now they're trying to do something big here again, and it started with Draymond Green opting out today, and there are multiple dominoes here that have to fall for this big four.
The financial side of this reported scenario is what makes it so fascinating. By opting out, Draymond Green reportedly gives Golden State added flexibility to re-sign him on a more team-friendly multi-year contract, while still preserving the mid-level exception that could be used in a pursuit of LeBron James. And that's where things start to get really interesting. The rumored lineup sounds almost too unbelievable to be real. Steph Curry, Brandon Podziemski, LeBron James, Draymond Green, and Anthony Davis all on the same roster. But the biggest piece of the puzzle might not be the salary cap at all. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Draymond Green are all represented by Rich Paul and Clutch Sports, meaning the superstar free agent, the reported trade target, and the player creating financial flexibility all share the same agency. For many around the NBA, that connection feels far too significant to ignore. They believe it points toward the framework of a coordinated blockbuster rather than a random series of events. And now, even several high-profile NBA media personalities have started linking the Warriors to what could become LeBron's next destination, making this rumor feel much bigger than fans first imagined.
Is signaling to you and I, LeBron and AD may be Warriors. It is creating flexibility for the Warriors to go out and sign LeBron and sign AD. So these are all Rich Paul clients. Draymond is, AD is, LeBron is. So there's a
The reported strategy looks strikingly similar to the blueprint Kawhi Leonard used back in 2019. Before committing to the Clippers, Kawhi reportedly made his stance crystal clear: bring in Paul George first. That request ultimately sparked a blockbuster trade and pushed Oklahoma City toward a full-scale rebuild. Now, LeBron James appears to be taking a very similar approach. If Golden State truly wants to land him, the reported expectation is that Anthony Davis must be acquired before he signs. And honestly, the logic behind that is easy to understand. LeBron and Davis have already shown they can win at the highest level together, with their chemistry serving as the foundation of the Lakers' 2020 championship run. After his reported journey from Los Angeles to Dallas and eventually Washington, Davis is said to have little interest in making a long-term commitment unless the franchise can present a legitimate path to competing for a title. That uncertainty has only intensified rumors that another major move could be around the corner. But you won't believe the biggest hurdle standing in the way. Davis is reportedly owed close to $58 million next season, making Jimmy Butler's expiring contract the most likely centerpiece of any potential trade package, with draft picks and promising young players almost certainly needed to satisfy Washington. And that's exactly where this entire blockbuster could either come together or completely fall apart. The Wizards reportedly have very little reason to help make this happen, leaving them in a position to derail the entire plan before it ever has a chance to become reality.
We want Anthony to be here. Our goal is to move forward as a team, and he's a big part of that.
Washington may not be actively looking to trade Anthony Davis, but that doesn't necessarily mean the door is completely closed. If Davis ultimately pushes for a reunion with LeBron James, it could create the same type of pressure that helped force Paul George's blockbuster departure from Oklahoma City back in 2019. That possibility alone is why so many people around the league are still watching this situation closely. Since the Wizards reportedly acquired Davis for a relatively modest price, turning him into a larger package of draft picks and young talent could align perfectly with their long-term rebuilding plans. Golden State does own several valuable future first-round picks that could attract Washington's attention, but here's where the biggest challenge begins. Unlike the Clippers' historic haul for Paul George, the Warriors simply don't have the same level of draft assets or a young franchise centerpiece comparable to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That means Golden State can still put together a respectable offer, but not one that's guaranteed to convince the Wizards to make the deal. Just when the rumors seemed ready to explode, however, respected NBA insider Brian Windhorst stepped in and completely changed the conversation. His comments cast serious doubt on whether this blockbuster scenario is actually as realistic as many fans have started to believe, and you won't believe what he had to say next.
Anthony Davis thing off the front burner. I do not have data that says that that's likely to happen. I do not see traction from the Wizards to want to do that. The Warriors told Jimmy Butler they're not trading him. I think the focus right now is, can they get LeBron James away from the Los Angeles?
Then came the moment that brought everyone back to reality. Brian Windhorst reported that there appears to be very little momentum between Golden State and Washington regarding a potential deal. At the same time, reports indicate the Warriors have made it clear that Jimmy Butler is not on the trade table. Even if the Wizards were willing to discuss moving Anthony Davis, Butler's enormous contract, combined with his recent injury concerns, makes a straightforward swap extremely difficult. That means a third team would almost certainly have to get involved for any blockbuster to become possible. And just like that, the Anthony Davis scenario suddenly became much harder to believe. But here's the twist that nobody saw coming. According to reports, the Warriors may not even believe they need Anthony Davis in order to convince LeBron James to sign. If that's really the case, then the most realistic ending to this story might not be a four-superstar dream team after all. Instead, fans could finally witness the partnership they've been waiting years to see. LeBron James and Steph Curry wearing the same jersey and chasing another championship together. You won't believe it until it actually happens, but the possibility alone has the entire NBA world paying attention.
Finally got an opportunity to play with Steph. What was it? Everything and more. First person I text, assemble the team, whatever. It's first person.
If Golden State can land LeBron James without giving up its most valuable assets, the entire situation takes on a completely different look. Rather than emptying the future for another injury-prone superstar, the Warriors would be adding one of the greatest players in basketball history through free agency, while taking on far less long-term risk. That's exactly why this possibility has so many fans and executives watching every move. But if the full superstar lineup somehow becomes reality, history also sends a powerful warning. The Clippers made a similar all-in gamble in 2019, trading away Shai Gilgeous-Alexander along with a massive collection of draft picks to acquire Paul George. What followed was a nightmare, as injuries repeatedly disrupted the experiment, while Oklahoma City used those assets to build a legitimate championship contender. And that's the biggest concern hanging over this reported Warriors blueprint. It all comes down to age and durability. Steph Curry, LeBron James, Draymond Green, and Anthony Davis would form one of the oldest superstar cores the NBA has ever assembled. Davis, in particular, has struggled to remain healthy, reportedly averaging fewer than 50 games per season over the last 5 years. On paper, the talent is absolutely undeniable. But you won't believe how quickly everything could unravel if injuries strike, because the biggest question isn't their ability, it's whether their bodies can survive another championship chase.
Score by Markin a moment ago, and where it happens.
The biggest concern surrounding this reported super team isn't the star power, it's whether everyone can stay on the court. Anthony Davis has dealt with recurring injuries over the past several seasons, while both LeBron James and Steph Curry are preparing to enter stages of their careers that almost no NBA legends have ever reached. On paper, this roster has everything needed to compete for a championship, but in reality, it could quickly turn into one of the league's most vulnerable contenders if injuries hit at the worst possible moment, and that's the part many fans are overlooking. Meanwhile, the Lakers' response has been surprisingly calm. Instead of making an aggressive push to convince LeBron to stay, reports suggest the franchise has already shifted its attention toward the future. According to Ramona Shelburne, the Lakers and Luka Doncic reportedly began mapping out the organization's vision for the 2026 offseason as early as last summer, signaling that a transition into a new era may have been in motion long before these latest rumors ever surfaced. If that's true, you won't believe how much of this story may have already been decided behind the scenes.
And that was to convince Luka Doncic to sign that extension. Those plans did not include LeBron James. They had salary cap space start.
Reports indicate the Lakers may have been preparing for a future without LeBron James well before this offseason ever began. Behind the scenes, the franchise had reportedly shifted its long-term vision toward Luka Doncic, suggesting the front office was already laying the foundation for its next chapter. If those reports are accurate, then this wasn't a sudden breakdown between LeBron and the organization. Instead, it was a carefully planned transition that had quietly been unfolding for months without most fans realizing it. According to Brian Windhorst, the Lakers made it clear they were interested in bringing LeBron back, but the sense of urgency reportedly wasn't there. Rather than doing everything possible to keep the face of the franchise, the organization appeared prepared to turn the page and move into a new era. That ultimately left LeBron in position to make the first major public move, and you won't believe how quickly the rest of the NBA reacted once the rumors started gaining real momentum.
Further talks. From what I understand, like the Lakers have not made an offer, but LeBron, from what I understand, as of today, when I got this update, LeBron has not, made himself available to meet with.
One of the biggest clues in this entire story is that LeBron James reportedly hasn't even met with the Lakers to discuss a return, leaving every possible option on the table, while Los Angeles continues shaping its roster around Luka Doncic. With each passing day, it becomes more apparent that the franchise's long-term future is no longer centered on LeBron. Reports suggest Golden State's aggressive pursuit finally pushed the Lakers into making one last attempt to keep their superstar. But here's where the story takes another unexpected turn. By that point, it may have already been too late. According to reports, the organization made a final appeal through Rich Paul, only for LeBron to continue moving forward with his reported decision, forcing Los Angeles to prepare for what could be the end of a legendary era. Even with all of that, however, Golden State is far from guaranteed to land him. While the Warriors remain one of the teams most heavily connected to LeBron, reports continue linking him to the Miami Heat as well, meaning the race for his next destination is still wide open. And until an official decision is made, you won't believe how many twists this story could still have left.
To Miami, a potential homecoming there. Once Giannis Antetokounmpo was traded to South Beach, there was plenty of talk around the league that they could see that type of.
With the Lakers seemingly fading from the equation, the race for LeBron James has reportedly entered a new phase. Golden State is widely viewed as the frontrunner, while the Miami Heat continue to be mentioned as a serious contender, and the Cleveland Cavaliers remain a fascinating dark horse option if the right opportunity presents itself. One thing, however, is becoming harder to ignore. It appears the remarkable chapter between LeBron and the Lakers is rapidly approaching its final pages. League executives are now reportedly preparing for every possible outcome, including the possibility of a sign-and-trade if it ultimately benefits both organizations. No one knows for certain where LeBron will suit up next season, but one decision has the potential to completely reshape the balance of power across the entire NBA. And if this blockbuster finally becomes reality, you won't believe how dramatically it could change the championship race overnight.
Discussion here. I think everything should be on the table here. But I think if you get LeBron James in the fold, I think you have to look at all your options. This is a Golden State team that can trade 3 first-round picks.
The people in the league that I'm talking to today are giving me the side eye. This is going to end up LeBron getting a new contract in Los Angeles. And again, I will just say that's all possible. But we just saw last week, okay? I don't care about words. I only really care about actions. Yep. The Lakers were offering Austin Reeves this amount of money. He wasn't happy. The Lakers were concerned that the Pistons were going to offer over the top. Okay. Dramatically increase their offer. So we just saw last week the actions of the Lakers seeing another offer out there for one of their players and then increasing their offer. I'm not saying I know, but part of this could be creating leverage for AD and LeBron in both Washington and LA, and then everybody gets.
For weeks, many people believed Golden State was nothing more than leverage in LeBron James' negotiations with the Lakers. But now, that entire narrative has taken a dramatic turn. Reports suggest LeBron has informed Los Angeles that he's ready to move on, making it clear this is no longer about negotiating a new deal. The decision appears to have already been made. Draymond Green's reported willingness to walk away from more than $26 million has only strengthened the belief that the Warriors are seriously positioning themselves for a blockbuster move. And if Golden State somehow manages to unite Steph Curry, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Draymond Green on the same roster, the championship potential would be absolutely undeniable. But here's the part that makes this story even more fascinating. Age, durability, and the enormous cost of building a roster like that could either create one of the greatest super teams the NBA has ever witnessed, or leave fans talking about one of the league's biggest what-if stories for decades. One thing seems impossible to ignore. The NBA landscape is already beginning to shift, and LeBron's next decision could reshape the league for years to come. So stay tuned, because as soon as the next major update breaks, you'll hear it here first. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next big NBA story.